Investors are concerned by volatility in the marketplace as well as the fact that the large cap US market has become very concentrated. The Pender US Small Mid Cap Equity Fund addresses both of those investor concerns. In terms of market volatility, the Pender US Small Mid Cap Equity Fund is very focused on quality businesses. So businesses that we understand very well and that have a sustainable competitive advantage that allows them to earn a return above their cost of capital. The other thing about market concentration is that the US small mid cap space is very diversified, and unlike the large cap marketplace where almost 40% of the index is in the top 10 holdings, the US small mid cap space has many diversified businesses, and the weight in the top 10 holdings is less than 10%. And we follow a similar investment framework in the fund, and we have between 25 to 35 holdings that offer that diversification and at the same time provide the opportunity to participate in businesses that are compounding earnings and are doing well over long periods of time. And we form a differentiated view versus the marketplace. So we do see short-term volatility as an opportunity to gain exposure to great businesses, and that's paid rich dividend over time. The Pender US Small Mid Cap Equity Fund is ideal for investors that are looking for some downside protection, and at the same time they want to participate in the long-term returns in the US equity market. I think right now is a great opportunity just because the small mid cap space in the US has underperformed over the last several years, and it also does offer exposure to themes that the Canadian investor may not find as easily accessible within the Canadian marketplace, like AI infrastructure or healthcare, which we believe are generational opportunities. They'll have a huge impact on the marketplace and on the way business is done. And I think for companies that serve that marketplace, the next 3 to 5 years offers tremendous opportunity. And the Pender US Small Mid Cap Equity Fund is very focused on some of those themes that offer good growth as well as opportunity to compound earnings and cash flow over time. The investment framework for the Pender US Small Mid Cap Equity Fund is focused on 3 tenets. The first is we look for quality businesses that we can identify as companies with a sustainable competitive advantage that are able to compound earnings by reinvesting capital at rates of return above their cost of capital. The second tenet is we look for companies in growth industries. So we, as long-term investors, we want to stay invested in the business and benefit from the compounding of earnings and cash flow over time. And the last key tenet, as I said, was we are very focused on identifying management teams that we believe we can stay invested along with, or that are good partners for us as minority shareholders. Before we invest in a company, we try to build various scenarios. And as much as we are focused on the upside, we are also very focused on what the downside could be if things don't pan out as we expect. And we are only going to invest in a business after we are very comfortable with the downside. The Pender US Small Mid Cap Equity Fund tends to take a long-term view on the businesses we own, and we use the market cycles as an opportunity to add value to our investments. So we would tend to own great businesses, but that doesn't stop us from either adding to our position or trimming our position based on what we view as short-term volatility in the marketplace or through the cycle. We love to always look for great businesses. That's our North Star. And beyond that, we see market cycles or market volatility as an opportunity to enter into or invest in great businesses at the right price levels.